I'm frankly quite shocked by that result. It's very unsettling. Welcome to Whiskey and SV. I'm your host Sam, and tonight we're going to be drinking some cask strength Macallans. Well, if you know anything about the whiskey industry, you know that Macallan is one of those brands that really just panders to the luxury buyer. They put out a lot of nonsense, non-age stated whiskeys, and they charge hundreds of dollars. And they typically come in fancy packages and fancy marketing, but the juice inside is just mediocre most of the time. Now, having said that, you know also probably if you've been watching my channel that I do enjoy their profile. So I think they are capable of putting out great whiskey, but I just don't like the pricing and sort of the watering it down and the marketing and all the stuff that comes with it. However, I still think in this day and age, if you are interested in that Macallan profile like I am, you can get some of their products, well, some from themselves and some from independent bottlers, we'll get to that, that are still pretty good value for money. In terms of independent bottlers, these days, if you want to buy a Macallan 18, that's basically $400 plus tax, so $450. I was able to pick up this Spey malt, which is the Gordon and MacPhail is the independent bottler, and their Macallan cask strength line is called their Spey malt line. This one was bottled in 2000, distilled in 2005 and bottled in 2024, which makes it 19 years old. I believe I picked this up for about $340 something. The two other ones that we have here are part of the Macallan Classic Cut line. Now, Classic Cut is a non-age stated cask strength whiskey line from Macallan. I believe the first one came out in 2017. It had a red top. It was before they switched to these anti-fraud sort of fancy tops. And actually, that first one is now going on the secondary market for well above its initial MSRP, which I believe was around $80. At some point, it was selling for close to $1,000. I think I acquired mine at around $700. But recently, I was able to get one for my friend for about $350. So prices are coming down on these like non-age stated Macallans that had gone up for no reason. Be it inflation, regular inflation, or more specifically whiskey inflation, the new ones that came out are in the order of $145 to $150 in MSRP. But if you're lucky, like we are in California, you can right now go to your Costco and probably be able to pick up the 2024 version for $115 plus tax. So $125 out the door for this, I think, is still pretty excellent value, considering what you can get for that money in this day and age, which is not much. So even though it's non-age stated, I think 125 is a pretty great price. So I want to put all these together in this blind. This one is bottled at 57 point something. This one is 50.2. This one is 52.4. So quite a bit of discrepancy between at least the Spey malt and the other two. But let's see if they can hold their own in a blind. Okay, so I'm going to pour these, half an ounce in each, and you'll notice that I am using the black Glencairns because there's quite a bit of color difference between these, and if I put them in regulars, it'll be too obvious. I'm actually going to grab a couple more of these. All right, let's use a different one because I don't want to taint them. All right, so we'll put number 1 on the Spey malt. We'll put number 2 on the 2023, and we'll put number 3 on 2024. All right, yeah, so as I mentioned, the purpose of this episode is for me to know if, you know, the new sort of Macallan classic cuts are any good, which one is better than the other, and also to know if it's worth spending an extra $200 to $300 to buy an age-stated independent bottler one like the Gordon and MacPhail. Now, the Gordon and MacPhail actually used to be pretty excellent value because they were selling for around more like $200. But yeah, pricing on them has just keep going up and up, so it's no longer a bargain. But I wonder if it's still at least good value, given that the original bottler, the OB version of the 18-year, is around $450. Okay, so as usual, I will nose them first, give you some notes, taste them, give some more notes, tell you my preference, make a guess as to which one I think is which, because I have tried this before, and then we will, yeah, we'll do the reveal and make the final conclusions. So, on the nose, a very recognizable Macallan character. For me, the recognizable Macallan character is basically a orange and apricot jam note. So very sort of stewed fruity. Yeah, it's just like orange and tangerines and apricots. If they were like stewed together, that's what that's what this comes across. I really like this note. It's very specific to Macallan. Um, of course, I think more recently I've been able to pick up this same note in some other whiskies. For example, the Deanston 21 Organic or the Tamdu 18, which I have back there. They also have this same tangerine-ish note, but none quite to the same degree as the Macallan. There's a good amount of oak here as well, so it's sort of the nutty Oloroso profile mixed with some oak. So very nice. I quite enjoy that nose. Okay, going on to number 2. Interesting. This one has a little bit of a sulfur note to it, which is rare with Macallan products. Macallan is sort of going for that upper market, so they don't usually put these more rough notes like that you get from some sherry casks that are well more rugged, I guess. So yeah, surprisingly, there's a little bit of a that sulfur note in this, which is rare in a Macallan. I have to say, I don't really enjoy the mix of that sulfur note with the Macallan profile. I like the Macallan profile to be very fresh sherry, and that's sort of I want the dominating note to be that their own profile, which to me is that tangerine, apricot, and orange jam, maybe with a little bit of chocolate. But yeah, this definitely is going more towards the enthusiast side of things, which is not a bad thing. It's just like not what I expect from Macallan. So if I'm sitting to enjoy Macallan, I think this would throw me off a little bit. This comes across as a little bit less ABV than the other one, though, I think. At least on the nose. All right, going to the third one. Okay, so this one is closer to the second one, I guess. But with less of those, it has less of those sort of sulfur notes. It's a little bit more muted overall, I guess. Let me go back to these two. Interesting. Yeah, so far I think on the nose, my favorite is probably this. This one is interesting. It's just not very Macallan-y, and this one is the most muted. So I'll have to come back to this. I think it was a bit unfair because I spent too much time on these two, and when I came back to that one, is messy. All right, we'll taste this first one then. That's very good. So it's what you get on the nose is also how you experience it, but it's quite intense because there's a lot of like fruit flavors, but you don't necessarily smell all the spices you're going to get on the nose, and it definitely is quite spicy as well because it just really makes my mouth water after the sweetness and the jammy notes start the experience. So, and then the lingering taste is just again those like jammy notes just going on and on. Yeah, it's like full of dried fruits. I keep thinking of maybe even like dried peaches or a little bit of apricots as well. There's quite a bit of like the oak influence in here, so there's some slight tannins, not in a bad way. They're just like they're very, very well integrated. Yeah, this is really a great experience. I like this quite a bit. Okay, let's go to the second one. Yeah, I can still smell, especially coming off this one, you can definitely smell that like slight sulfur note on this one. It's yeah, it's a bit strange for me to smell that from Macallan. It's very, very slight though. Very, very slight. Interesting. This is a little bit sharp. It has a bit of a acidic fizzy note that like goes up through my nose, and it's a little bit bitter on the finish as well. So definitely like not as enjoyable as the first one. Let me try that one more time. Yeah, definitely. There's a sharp note that runs through it, and then it's kind of like interrupts the experience. It doesn't last too long, so it's not enough to say that I don't like this whiskey, like the same way that I said about the Springbank 10 Palo Cortado. But it's definitely something there. There's this acidity that just like starts and it fizzes up through my nose, but it does die away pretty quickly. The rest of the experience is very enjoyable. Okay, and there's this like sort of orange chocolate note to all of these, which is again like very typical to Macallan. Okay, this seems to have opened up a little bit more. It's like a little bit more fruity now. It's definitely preferable to the second one, I think. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the same disrupting fizzy acidic note, but it also has the same little bit of like a bitter oak at the end of it. Yeah, it's a bit one-dimensional and flat compared to the first one. So I think so far I have to say that this first one is by far my favorite. I sure hope it's the Spey malt, because if it's not, what are we doing here? Paying $200 more for it. Between these two, I would say I definitely prefer this because it doesn't have the same sharp note as this one. But the finish on this was a little bit more enjoyable. Yeah, it definitely has that acidity thing going on. I don't know what it is. Really nice finish though. Okay, yeah. So I think final thoughts. I think this is my favorite by far. I sure hope it is the Spey malt. This one I would say is last, and I don't know which one it is. I hope it's the 2023 because I can get the 2024 right now at Costco. So I hope this is 2023, and I hope this is 2024. But if I'm realistic, I think actually this is the 24. This is the 23. All right, let's do the reveal. First one is number 3. Oh wow. So this is the 2024. Wow. Okay. So the 2024 is by far my favorite. Okay. Wow. What is this one? This one is number 1. Uh-oh. This is a Spey malt. Oh man, that is quite an outcome. And this is number 2. So this is the 2023. I'm frankly quite shocked by that result. It's very unsettling because I did think this was a good deal at 350, so I bought 3 bottles, and now I think I should have just bought this for 115 plus tax from Costco. In fact, I think I will go out and buy a couple of backups of this, and then try to trade these away, because I do think I for sure enjoyed this way more. Let me try that one more time. Yeah, that's just excellent. All right, well, it is what it is. I think this is why you should always do blinds. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers.